Hi there, and welcome to an introductory session on how to use the new Shelf Builder platform. I'll kick things off with just a quick overview of the admin interface. There are a few options in there that are still not active yet, and will be in the coming weeks, such as the search bar or some of these options here, and likewise on this side. So when we start off when we log into the platform, we have a number of, or we have the area where the project kind of space lies. So obviously I can create a new project here. So if we say this is let's go with a demo 2, and let's call this demo as well. We'll create that space. Now, once we're in this project, click into demos 2. Now we're in the survey creation area. So do a new survey. Okay, we'll call this a demo survey, and let's just go with demo for now. Important is to make sure this is set to basic, and then let's hide that. And what we'll do is just go and click on create survey. Okay, once that's done, we have a number of options once we go into it, but we can also click on the 3 dots here and have other kind of options like copy, move, or delete, and so on. So we'll go into the demo survey, and this here is the canvas area. And essentially this is the space where, or the area where you will create the survey flow or activity flow. So to do that, what we need to do is create a few blocks. So we'll start off with this block here, or we click on this square, and then we have a number of options here. All we're really concerned with, or are going to be using, is the UI block, the logic block, and the exit block. Okay, so we'll start off with the UI block, put it at the top, and the first one is going to be a notice block. Click enter, and the notice block is just basically a piece of text that starts at the beginning. So we'll click on subtype and click on, we'll call this just a notice block, and we need to set the content. So nothing else to set with this, just the subtype is a notice block. Show content, and we're going to say this is a demo shelf. Put that in the middle, make it slightly big, and close it. Then we need a shelf block. So the same again, click on the add block, and we'll call this shelf. Press enter. And from the subtype kind of drop down, we need to then select a shelf block, and then the mode, we need to go on shelf. Once we've got that, what we need to do then is to continue to shelf setup. It's at this point where the system is loading the shelf builder, and then we have this is essentially kind of a separate application. So I'm navigating around by just middle mouse button and just panning around the view. Okay, we do have an auto save, but you can also, whenever you make a change, you can also click Control and save, like doing so now. So we can start off by adding a normal bay. All right, and this is, just think of this as the top-down view of a supermarket or floor area. So when we click on this view, these 3 lines here, we can then click on bays, and we have a default bay. All we need to do is click on that bay and drag this to the top view. Okay, and again, I'm zooming in with my middle mouse scroll wheel. Okay, and we have the camera here, but we'll come back to the camera a bit later. So we can make this bay a bit bigger, but again, I can do that in another view. So right now I've placed the bay on here. I can just click on front view, and here we are. Okay, so at the moment there is no products, but what there is a number of shelves. So I can delete this shelf if I don't want it and move this down. I can also make the bay bigger, higher, and all that good stuff. Yeah, so I've only got 3 shelves at the moment, but I need to add another one. So I can drag a default shelf from the shelves panel. Okay, but like I said, we don't have any products at the moment. So what we need to do is add some products. Now there's 2 ways. You can either drag the actual product from the demo folder, which again you'll have access to, or what you can do is just actually upload a CSV file that has the products kind of defined already, their metadata or the various attributes. So like this is the SKU for each of these products, and the SKU code here matches the image file names. Okay, so what we can do is start with this Excel file. It really depends on your workflow. So what we can do is just drag this Excel file here while in front of you. That's important. Okay, so in front of Bayview, drag the Excel file to the builder, and now what we've got is a number of line items, but there's no images for these right now. But we know that each one has it's actually in there like a placeholder. So if I click on this product here and I click on the advanced settings, I've got all the names, the price, the various physical attributes, and also the different sides. Okay, so if I close this down now, the advanced settings, what I can do is just grab these products over. And another important point is, just let me zoom in a little bit here. We've got the product, the front of the product, then we have the back of the product. And again, this is very simply set by the SKU, or it can be any sort of unique code, alphanumeric preferably. And then what you do is you'll have the kind of the suffix, which is underscore back. And that just indicates to the system that this image belongs to this product. So right now, I'm not going to upload all these products. Okay, so but we'll just upload just a handful. So let's do these three here. Okay, so we've got the front, the back, the front, the back, the front, and the back. So drag this over. Okay, and if I click on this view, you can see that these three products have been added. We'll give that a few seconds to upload the images. Okay, so, and everything is now saved. And if you're unsure, you can still click on Control and S on the keyboard and things are saved again. So now we've got these products here. What I can do is just drag this over, okay, to the bay and the shelf. I can still adjust it. So I can grab this gizmo and duplicate the products. Yeah. And I can also obviously go upwards. So let's go something like this, and let's delete this shelf. So click on the shelf and just press the delete, or right click on the shelf and go delete. Move that a little bit down. And what you can do is right click on the shelf and just go distribute, and that just evenly spaces the products. Okay, so let's do that for the other product as well. We're not going to duplicate it in the we're not going to stack these products, but we can do just distribute. Okay, move that up here. Do the same with this. Okay, again distribute. But what I can do then, select these products, go copy, select the bottom shelf and go paste. Okay, and all that's really left is for us to edit the label. So we can double click on the price label. So as you can see right now, we've got the name and the weight, but maybe we want these labels to be a little bit bigger. So we click on this and make them, drag this label here a little bit down, move the measure down, move the product name down, and then also make the actual font a bit bigger. So we'll do that. And let's, again, I'm just double clicking on the price, bold, again here, 20, do that bold as well, like so. Once I'm happy with this kind of arrangement, what I can do is just click on save. And I can also make this a bit wider if need be, really. Let's do that, as we have a lot of space. Cereal boxes are quite large anyway, so it does give us a lot of real estate to work with. So go save. And now you can see that the shelf is a lot larger, yeah, with the prices more popping out. So now let's say I'm happy with this setup. What I need to do is actually give this this shelf, basically make sure that it doesn't just sort of hang in 3D space. Okay, and you'll see that a bit later. So what we need to do now is just add another kind of dummy bays. So I can do drag this default bay again to the same space. I'll zoom in. Okay, and I'll make that a bit wider. So go back to front view here by selecting this kind of hash looking like grid at that side. Okay, let's do that. Oh, there we go. So now if I'm here, all right, what I need to do is, so let's delete that shelf, make sure we match these shelves here. Okay, then what I can do is then just grab these products again. I mean, you would normally want to upload a separate kind of product, so let's add maybe this product here. Okay, and we'll use this for dummy. So I'll drag this over to here. Exactly same process. Okay, we'll do distribute, and I can drag that like so. Double click on this product and just click on disable and say pixelated. Again, I'll copy that over, but again, we have, it's not going to fit in there, so there's no need to do that. So what I'll actually, let's do that, paste it over. Okay, so that works just as well. And we'll do the same. So copy this and paste it, copy this and paste it. We don't need these labels. So again, select these price labels and delete them. Okay. Once we're happy with this, we can go into top view again. And what we'll do is duplicate the duplicate this bay. So we'll go back to top view, and then I usually just duplicate to the left hand side, then drag that bay over to the right. Okay, again, zoom in just to make sure it sits together. Go into front view just to check again and say, okay, I'm happy with that. Go back to the top view, select the camera. Now this green block here is really just it's the boundary to say like, okay, the camera cannot go beyond this boundary. Yeah. So we can also double click on this camera, and we can set the height to say let's go 1.2. Okay. Close that. And what you can also do, just as a note, you can also switch the camera to walk-in mode, which then means the camera can walk around this this space and beyond. But this is but this is something else that you can look at later as you're testing. So once I'm happy with this layer, I can then double click on the actual shop floor, then select a scenery file. So we can go to here again with the we have already kind of a store background that we can use. So let's select that on upload. And again, you will have access to these files in the wiki. So now that it's saved, we can go to generate. It's at this point, this application then sends the data and builds kind of all the setups and sends it back to our admin. So now I can close this down. Okay, and it's all saved. So if I click on continue shelf setup, I can load that setup again. Okay, so once I've got that, I haven't linked these together yet, but before we do that, let's do a logic block. So this is a redirect. And this allows the respondent to then be redirected back to our main survey. But so we select the redirect, and we need to select a subtype. We'll call this a redirect block. Then we go to the param name and set this as link. So in the URL, and click submit just to make sure that this is saved. So once we generate the link, this this link parameter will be in the URL. So then the system can recognize that. And what that means is you can then specify the link to send the respondent to after they completed this 3D exercise. So now we'll add the exit block. And the exit block just tells our system that we're done. We're not sending the respondent to another part of our system. Okay. So now what we need to do is just link these together. So click on the first one, link it. Click on the second one, the shelf, link it to the redirect, and from the redirect to the exit. Okay. So once we've done that, all we then need to do, click on publish. I'm only going to publish in test mode, just so you can see. Okay. But obviously in a real life environment, you'll then get to the point that you publish to a live, a live link. So let's open this. Okay, so this is a draft survey just to make sure you don't mix up the different publishing links. Click on next. So this is the notice block, which we set is demo shelf. Click next again. And now we've got ourselves the shelf that we've just built. Yeah. So and now what you can do is just click on a product, and then you've got the product here. And again, you've got the different sides. the back side, the front side, and then you can click on back to shopping, and then again click on the other product. So this is a normal kind of flow for a respondent. But what we haven't done in this link is added the AND link. So what we need to do is AND link equals HTTPS. And as you remember, in that block, we set the link, the redirect param to be link. Hence why this is AND link. Obviously, you can set it up to whatever you want. So now if I reload this, we've got ourselves the draft survey. Okay, and again, so once I finish the respondent, let's say we add this product, add that product. Obviously, you can zoom in on the keyboard as well by just pressing the W and S to zoom in on the keyboard, okay, or to move up and down with the arrow keys. If you don't have a scroll mouse key, then the respondent can also use the keyboard. All right, so once I'm happy with this, I can then go to checkout and then go to, I've got the list here, I can then go to checkout. So now I'm being redirected to Google as I set this up in the parameter, and we get this, so now we're in Google. Now, what we need to do, if I go back now, right, we've got the param ID. Now we get to the point of how do we get the data out of the from the respondent. So this is done via the API. And again, there's separate documentation on this, but I'll give you a quick view on this. So we grab the param ID here. All right. Now, for this purpose of the tutorial, I need to load Insomnia, which is a JSON kind of application. And if you know what APIs are, this should be just a common knowledge, really. It's nothing too complicated. If not, then I would say you skip this section of the video and pass this on to your programmers or someone who has kind of knowledge of APIs. Okay, so first we submit the JSON object with the actual param ID. Okay, then we get a survey ID that we need. Once we've got that, we can then go to the shelf purchase sort of access point. Then in the survey ID, we can then paste that in there. All right. And what we need to do is set a few things up. So survey ID, we've got that. Now we need the respondent ID called preview, and the block ID is called shelf. So what this really means is if you have multiple shelves, you can have shelf 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in the API, you can actually specify which one you want. So right now, we just call it shelf. Now, if I click next, all right, it says server error, but actually there is no error. The problem, or kind of it might seem like a problem, is actually right now we've overridden the data. So this is real-time data. So what the system is saying is like, you've given me the respondent ID, but there is no data for this person. So I need to click next, demo. All right, so if I buy a product here, okay, and then I go to checkout, and then I go back to the API, then I've got myself the results. Okay, and this is, again, there's more documentation on the API. So we've got shelf summary purchases, which tells us, okay, I bought this product, and it's the unique SKU, as it were. Okay, there's other stuff in there. We can say items looked at. Okay, so there's other things that we can, or other API points that we can actually specify. Well, this should be shelf, actually. Okay. So again, I just kind of went and bought these. So these are just in there for, like these can be extended a bit later and will be extended as we are working with clients, as different summary or different kind of metrics will be required. The point of all of these really is to give the client an easier way to access the data for each respondent, meaning that they are not presented with a massive data set and then they have to work through this. So if we wanted like items looked at, kind of like, I guess we should have looked at some items, then there'll be some data in here. And also set this up properly as well. So this is called shelf. There we go. Now it's better. So what you can do is say like, okay, what items were looked at, and then you can add other things in there: duration of view, time of view. But then it's not limited. Obviously, if you have any other additional requests in there, like the sequence in terms of products looked at, or anything else for that matter, we can add this as either an extension of a current shelf request, so API request, or it could be a new item that we add in there that is specific to a particular project. Okay, so I wonder if this will also. There we go. So the item zipped up. Obviously, I had to look at a product to buy it, but again, there's more timing information. So this is pretty powerful in terms of what you can do and what metrics you can get. But also, what we can do is, as I say, we can give you more human readable data rather than saying giving you stuff that need to be analyzed later. So yeah. Anyway, we can have that conversation. So this is where we can. Yeah, I think this is pretty much all the kind of the simplest workflow and how to get started with this. So, like I say, I hope this not been too long for you, and you managed to follow through with this. You'll have access to all these files that I've used here in the wiki. So feel free to obviously log in and use this for your own kind of demo setup or project. So thanks for looking, and look forward to working with you in the near future. Thank you.